Making it do what it do. Come on, y'all. Another week has gone by. The sun is shining. It's a beautiful day. And you are officially rolling with Ramsey. All right. You know, I gotta love it. Today's show is gonna be off the chain. We've got a phenomenal guest coming on board. But really quick, before I bring her on board, I just gotta say, if you haven't been paying attention to what's going on, there are no basketball games today. No basketball is being played today, primarily due to the, hello, Kimberly, I see you, you're rolling with Ramsey, primarily due to the unfortunate shooting of Jacob Blake in Wisconsin. The Milwaukee Bucks have decided to boycott their games along with all the other games today. All the teams are boycotting, they're not playing. It's an unfortunate incident. All I can say is my heart hurts right about now. We need to make sure that our voices are heard, that people know that we are hurting as Black Americans. We cannot stand by and continue to let these things transpire and take place. Rolling with Ramsey condemns the abuse of power and violence against Black Americans from law enforcement officials. I believe in good cops. I served in the military for 23 years, and I'm telling you, there are good law enforcement officials out there, officers, deputies, troopers. They are out there, good ones who are there to protect and serve everyone. I do not believe in defunding the police. I believe in reforming, putting more emphasis on the education and training of our law enforcement officials. That's my take on it. That's my stance. That's my belief. And I believe that that's where we need to head with that, because we need to be able to weed out these bad officers and not let them get in our place, get in the first place. Reform, not defund. Focus on training. Focus on everyone who gets in. Just to be able to become a cop, it should be very hard. To become a law enforcement official, it should be a tremendous process that you have to go through to even apply. And so that's where I stand with that. But that being said, I've said that. I've got that out the way. Today, we are talking about sex, sex. Hey, I'm telling you, we have a phenomenal guest. I'm getting ready to bring her in right now because she is in the waiting room. Get your questions ready because it is about to be on and popping. Let me bring in our guest today. Oh, wow. There she is. Miss Kaycee.
Hello.
How are you doing? Good afternoon. So listen, everybody, I want to introduce you all to, yes, my friend. I met her on Instagram. I follow her. She is phenomenal. Trust me, I'm telling you, there's not a day that goes by that she's not putting a post up or something that makes me go, I'm just like, okay. Miss Simon, I see you. You're rolling with Ramsey. Thanks for tuning in. All you guys, Nikita Lewis, I see you guys. You're all rolling with Ramsey. But our guest today, she is phenomenal. She has a Bachelor of Arts in sociology. She has a Master of Applied Social Sciences. She's also a member of the American Association of Sexual Educators, Counselors, and Therapists. And like I've been telling y'all all this week, she is a real licensed therapist. Her practice is for real. We were just joking a few minutes ago. Yes, she takes Blue Cross and Blue Shield. She takes real insurance. I don't know how much real you want her to get. So, like I say every week, here we go. Kaycee Polite, aka the Pleasure Pusher. You are officially doing what?
Rolling with Ramsey.
That's right. All right. She is rolling with Ramsey. How are you doing today?
I am doing fantastic. Thank you so much for having me.
All right, so I'm going to just tell you right now, people
Yes.
then come here to hear me run my mouth today. I'm not going to be this lame duck sitting up here talking to you, though. We're going to have fun with this. Okay. This is a very interactive show today. You guys chime in, you ask questions. I'm going to say this again. If you feel uncomfortable about typing your question in the comments, feel free to send a direct message and you can still get your question asked. Okay.
Wonderful.
So, Kaycee, we're in,
Yes.
we're in a new time, in a new era right now. We're dealing with COVID-19. Everything is going on. Folks are on top of each other. Things are happening. You know, like Big Mama used to say back in the day, folks bumping uglies, whatever. The question is there, how can I say it? Let me make sure I say this correctly. Being together so much, because now everybody's in the house. Kids are there, you're there. But sometimes both wife and husband are both there now, telecommuting from home.
Yeah.
Is that a positive or a negative when it's come to what's going on when it comes to the bedroom?
Yes, that's a good question. So the answer to that is it depends on the status of the relationship prior to COVID.
Wow.
Right? Yeah.
Okay.
So if you were already communicating well, if you already had a healthy sex life, then the challenges won't be as detrimental.
Okay.
But if you were struggling before, oh, you're really struggling now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And you know, I will tell you this, and let me put this out there for everybody. So Kaycee is LGBTQ friendly, kink friendly, poly friendly.
Absolutely. Yes.
She wants
all the above.
She wants everybody to have a great sexual experience. I believe if I can say that's
I
your goal.
Yes.
Well, we say more sex, less stress. Hey, there it is.
That's right. That's right.
And so we're gonna let's close the door, and we're just gonna jump into the deep end of the pool. All right.
Love it.
So, you know, I'll sit up here and say I have been in situations in the past relationships.
Okay.
Where I remember the first time that I engaged in anal sex with a female, with my partner. And I remember I was taken aback because she asked me, hey, will you do this? And for me at the time, it was a little taboo. I was like, I'm a guy, and what am I doing? Going here, you know. And
sure.
And I was really kind of, I don't want to say drug into it, kicking and screaming. Okay. It was more like, you should try it. You'll like it. I really like it. I enjoy it. Blah, 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 blah. And I was kind of like, okay. And I remember the mental stigma I had to get past to even perform that sexual act.
Yes.
For the longest, it was like, this ain't right. And then, you know, if you get that in your head,
right?
Hey, other parts don't want to act right.
That's right.
I had to learn to get past that. Like, this is pleasurable for her. This is being requested. Don't be selfish in a sense.
Sure. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. It is still very taboo. Anal sex, anal play is still very taboo. But I think we have to remember that those limiting beliefs that we carry with us, that's our lens. So to feel this level of shame and uncertainty about, is this the right thing to do, the wrong thing to do, that's really normal that you experience that. And I think a lot of people do. And when they do, that keeps them from really exploring other areas of their sexuality.
Wow. So the crazy thing was, okay, you end up liking it. That relationship's over. You move on to the next relationship. Hey, what is this? No, I don't do that. It's like everybody's different. My fault.
Everybody's different.
Pump the brakes. Not good, bad, or indifferent. But
that's right.
Everybody's different. I learned that. I remember the first time somebody was like, "Hey, I like being choked," and I was like, "Shit, you trying to get me to go to jail? Mark around your neck, folks don't show up." you know.
Right.
Uh,
Yeah.
and it was funny because, let me see, it was probably back, wow, it was years ago. I was still on active duty. I was stationed out at Fort Hood, Texas.
Hmm.
Uh, matter of fact, I was finishing up my degree, and it was a young woman I was in class with, and we ended up dating and so forth for a little bit.
Hmm.
And I remember the first time we were engaging, we were having intercourse, and it was a good
Okay.
thing, and it was all
Okay.
good. And she looked down at me and she smacked me, and
Mm.
I was like, I don't know how to feel right now because part of me is like, I want you to do that again because I really don't know why. I just didn't
Yeah.
understand
Sure.
why. But it was
Yes.
like in the heat of the moment, I
Yeah.
was
You
like,
enjoyed
yeah,
it.
come on. I was like, this
Right.
is different, but
Yes.
okay, I'm down. It was really crazy. So I tell people you don't know what parts of you that haven't been turned on yet per se.
Very true.
Um, so it's like, okay, everybody has their limits of what you shouldn't try, what you should try, whatever.
Yes. And
But
those are conversations that need to happen before, right? Like that's but no one teaches us how to do that. So we have to learn how to have those conversations about what are your hard limits? What are your soft limits? What do you enjoy? Do you have a safe word? I mean, those kind of conversations need to happen just the same as what are you watching on Netflix, right? Like these common kind of questions that you talk about, you need to understand that about your partner.
wow, that's phenomenal. I don't know if you've read the book, but years ago, Hill Harper wrote a book called The Conversation.
I did. I did read. I actually got to meet him at a book signing for the
Wow.
book.
And
Yeah.
and I tell people, and I've told females that I've run across all the time, I said, you really need to read this book called The Conversation.
Yes.
She said, what is it about? I said, it's about relationships, but it's really more so about the taboo things that we don't talk about in the
That's right.
Black community that
Yes.
we feel is taboo. Um, I was talking
Hmm.
to a friend the other day, and everything is so taboo. And she says, well, what do you mean? I said, okay, well, here's a primary example, and this is exactly what this is, an example,
Hmm.
because I've seen and I've heard this conversation, and I remember giving it the side eye. Did he just say? And then I kind of ear hustled the rest of the conversation, and it was really like, wow, she just gave him a pass. Here was the deal. The
Okay.
conversation was, well, he was just talking very casually with this other. It was a Caucasian couple, so it was a white couple,
Okay.
and
Okay.
the male said, well, yeah, when I was in college, yeah, I experimented with a guy, but I really didn't like it. It was just no big deal, you know. And she was like, oh yeah, that's cool, no big deal.
Mm-hmm.
If a Black guy were to ever say that in just
Right.
casual conversation like
Very
that,
true. Yes.
he is gay forever. Like
Yes.
it's this. That's it.
Yes. He's
You'll never.
marked and labeled.
You're marked
Yep.
and labeled. You're never going to be able to change. And I'm not saying that anybody who judges that or whether it's right and wrong or that, that's just the difference between our two communities when it
Yes.
comes to sexuality.
Yes. There's a lot of cultural differences for sure.
Major cultural difference there if you want to elaborate on it a little bit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think we have to remember where did we get the messages from that we have that have created the beliefs that we have. So within the African American community, the faith-based influence
Ah, right.
is tremendous, right? It's huge. So we know that the faith-based community has a very specific viewpoint on sex and sin and premarital sex. And really with the focus of procreation, it's not about pleasure. That's not what I learned about in church as a little girl, right? It was
Right.
all about saving yourself until you got married. So when those are the foundation of the teachings that our community received, of course, we don't have that same liberal viewpoint.
Carefree.
And, yeah, carefree and acceptance of
Right.
how vast our ability to experience pleasure and with different types of people It's not as accepted.
Hey, Michi, I see you. You're rolling with Ramsey. Um, Guys, if you have questions, comments, feel free, drop them, please. Ask them. Nothing is off
Yeah.
limits.
I'd love to answer your questions.
We want you to get your questions answered today, because trust me, if you were paying for this session, you'd be paying for it.
Yes.
So you better take advantage of it now.
That's right.
We'll just hop around here based on some things that I've noticed. Now,
Okay.
the big thing right now, it seems like in the young Black community, is this whole poly thing.
Yeah.
Some are for it, some aren't for it. You see different posts and people.
Yeah.
Now, I tell people, I say, if you watch a movie and you see a scene in a movie and folks is in a poly relationship in a movie, it's still a movie. Please understand that. I think one of the greatest scenes in movie is the remake of Superfly. And it was not an X-rated scene, but
That was the shower scene.
But that shower scene, hey, listen, that
was incredible. That was incredible.
That shower scene is incredible.
So erotic.
It was very erotic. And I told people they were in a true poly relationship, meaning they knew about, they all three knew about each other. They were in a relationship together. They operated as one. It wasn't an open marriage. That is very different. They were in a triangle relationship, all operating together. That movie is a great example of that. Let's see. Michi said, Miss Michi Brown, I love you, Michi, because you're in Mexico and I'm still jealous. She says, I've discovered that you can climax without penetration. Does that have a name? Okay.
Well, it depends. I love that question, Michi. And the answer is yes, you can, from any erogenous zone on your body. So essentially, it is a climax that's not from penetration. There's no fancy word for it. People can have stimulation of the nipples and have a nipple orgasm, but it's just having an orgasm from another erogenous zone.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Great question, Michi. Thank you for chiming in. Yeah. And that is so funny because, I'll be very transparent. I believe that my mind and body work really, they harmonize and work simultaneously together. And when they do talk to me, it's a real thing. I've recently found that, some people watch pornography, this, that, and the other. If you put the right erotic story and I'm reading that, I feel like that is just as powerful as if I was to turn on some porn. So it's,
Yes, because it starts here. Sex and pleasure starts in our mind first.
I remember being deployed to Iraq and picking up the book Nervous by Zane. Now, I'm telling you, I'm really upset because all that other movie that they tried to make from her book, no, Zane, Nervous was the greatest writing, in my opinion, from Zane. The character had split personalities. She was all over the place, but it was phenomenal. Best work ever, in my opinion.
I haven't read that one, so I'll have to add that to my list.
Nervous it's got a great storyline too, by the way. That was the big thing about it. It wasn't just, let me write a sexual
erotic
story.
Scene.
And it had a great storyline. So, and it was just weaved in really well. Keisha wants to know, she says, is it true that once you hit 40, she says, is it true that once women hit 40, their sex drive increases, or is it that we become more comfortable with our bodies?
I love that question. So it's a little bit of both, to be honest. And I will have to say that personally, because I'm over 40, I don't have to worry about the number, it doesn't matter. But
29 and holding.
Yeah, 40 plus. 40 and fabulous. So, so in a lot of ways, women have a better understanding of who they are, a better acceptance of their body. Their emotional intelligence is deeper. We hope. most people, right? Over 40. But as far as our hormones are concerned, there is definitely a shift that can increase our desire and arousal. So it's really best of both worlds if you experience that and you have the wisdom and emotional experience of life. But yeah, it's amazing. After
Oh,
40, it's like it's amazing peak time sexually for women.
wow. That
Hmm.
is, hey, y'all guys, if you're listening, I'm trying to tell you, nothing like an older woman. That's all I'm gonna tell you. Hey, listen,
There
hey,
you go.
nothing like an older woman. Trust me, they know what they want. They know they're not playing around.
Very true. Very
Um,
true.
but yeah, so it is just phenomenal to understand that. We were talking about it earlier, and I remember a post that you did. Just to go back to what you were talking about earlier, when you were talking
Hmm.
about anal play and
Yeah.
understanding the different erogenous zones,
Yeah.
and understanding where they are, how they're stimulated, and what does that mean? Um, and what does that mean? And what does that do? Tawana Johnson, I see you. You're rolling with Ramsey.
Mhm.
And what that means. I think of it being more so taboo. I don't know. Do you think it's more so taboo for men more so than women?
For what in particular?
Anything to do with anal play, period.
It's definitely more taboo for men, for sure. Yes, just because of the sexual preference association, like that, because the idea is that it can, for some people, feel like it demasculates them, right? So I think it creates more angst and um, uncomfortable for men to really allow themselves to open up to experience any type of anal pleasure, which, by the way, you all can experience amazing pleasure from anal stimulation. I mean, it's beyond words what you all can experience if you allowed yourself to do that.
No comment. That's what I'm just
There
gonna
you
say.
go.
I'm gonna
No
drink.
problem.
I'm gonna just drink. Look, I plead the fifth. Okay. All right. So
Yes.
that being said, we were just talking about 40s.
Yep.
Explain the heightened sexual activity before and after a menstrual cycle. Why is that?
Again, it is based on hormones. So a woman's body is technically preparing to get pregnant every single month. So our bodies naturally then want to attract or draw in a partner so that we can become pregnant. So for some women, their arousal and desire can increase right during the time when they're ovulating.
Okay.
But that is literally nature's way of saying, well, we have to find someone to get us pregnant because this is what's happening. So,
We.
yes. And on top of that, women are usually, they produce more wetness, right? So their wetness increases. I mean, yeah, I tell women to track it. I tell all women to track their cycle and track their arousal patterns because it really gives you some good information.
Right. What's going on? Like, hey, you know what? I've often said, and I say this all the time. I say it all the time. There's no reason, and there are women out there who are. Women should be just as demanding as men sometimes. And what I mean by that is if your man is sitting on the couch when you come home, if you've had a bad day and he's sitting there watching the game or whatever, you should be able to walk behind him on your way to the bedroom and in passing say, I need you to come get you off. Let's go. I had a bad
Mhm.
day. Come on. You got work to do. And demand it. It's particularly those who are in monogamous relationships, those who
Mhm.
are just in relationships, period, married.
Sure.
Guess what? Do not feel that the man has to always be the aggressor or the initiator.
Yeah.
I I'm gonna let out a little secret, ladies. Here it is. You heard it first, right here on Rolling with Ramsey. I'm gonna say it. Every man wants to be possessed by his significant other to some degree. Now, there's a level of craziness, okay?
Of course.
All I'm
Yeah.
saying is they want to know that for to some degree you own us. We belong to you. It's our, that belongs to me, nobody else's. If it's mine, I should be able to get it anytime I want. Stand up for it, take it. Do not play with me, never deny me. Because guess what? Men think the same way, but what we don't always communicate is we want to hear that same thing from you. And when you do, I'm telling you, it's like Clark Kent coming out the telephone booth. It's called DVRs. They won't miss the game. They can pause it these days. It's not like it used to be. We're going to come a running. We're going to come a running. Kaycee.
Well, men want to feel wanted and desired too, right? And so by having that kind of aggressive behavior from their woman, they can feel that. It's very reassuring.
Yes. Yes. Particularly if you are verbal and a little aggressive with it, no man is going to tell you no. I'm just keeping it 100, Meecha. You laughing. We got a few comments. Kaycee said, it's true. She said, is it true that vibrators has the potential to desensitize a female's erogenous zone areas? Okay.
Great question. I love this question because there's two schools of thought out there. I belong to the school that says, no, it does not. A lot of the research that I've done has shown that even if you use a vibrator on a daily basis, and typically most women use it to stimulate their clitoris, it's not going to, I guess women say, well, what about when a man then performs oral on me? It feels very different. Yes, it feels very different, but it is still also very arousing and you're still going to receive pleasure from it. The toy does not replace a human and the emotions that are connected to it. Now, obviously, if you use a toy that might be old, broken, or any type of overuse, I think it takes a lot to overuse. You could injure your clitoris, but it's amazing. It heals. It'll be okay, but it will not desensitize you at all. Absolutely not.
That's awesome. I love the guys that y'all are having a conversation in the chat room with each other. Forrest said, yes, why are women more reluctant to engage in sex than men? It makes men come off as more aggressive. The response was, Forrest C, with women, it starts with mental stimulation. Men are more ready by physical. Oh, so they having a, do you agree or disagree? You do?
But I think absolutely. Because here's the challenge. Women are not socialized to be sexually aggressive. Women who had any type of what was perceived to be sexual aggression were labeled hoes, right? Sluts. There was negative connotation to a woman's aggressive sense of sexuality. So it is very difficult for women sometimes to feel comfortable without feeling shame if they are the aggressor. So I definitely want to put that out there. And I think the other thing too is that sex for most people has always been defined by penetration. And penetration is not how most women have an orgasm. It's how men have an orgasm, but it's like only 18% of women actually have an orgasm from vaginal penetration. The majority of women have an orgasm from clitoral stimulation.
Right.
Whether that's external or internal, but it's from their clitoris.
Okay. All right. So let's leave that. We're gonna roll right in. We're gonna roll right into something else with that, which is this whole thing about women wanting to the term just use a squirt, but women having. I think the official term is women being able to ejaculate.
Yeah.
But we will use the whatever term, squirting. And so I can remember the first time I witnessed that I helped with that and helped do that. And I was like, wow. And, I was like, I wanted to beat my chest like a gorilla, like, ah!
Oh, yeah. It's a big ego booster.
Yeah, it's like a big ego booster. But more importantly, I saw the pleasure on my partner's face. Like, it was like nirvana for her. But then you meet somebody who is like, okay, I've never had that. I don't know if I can that can ever happen.
Mm-hmm.
And I've read on, okay, this is how you can do it. And you're going to get this station and you're going to explain it. But trying to explain it to someone versus it actually happening, it makes it so, it's almost like, I don't know, it's almost like my golf swing. You can't think about it. You got to know,
It has to happen.
It just has, you got to just be able to trust the process and just be able to let go. Because obviously I'm not a woman, but from what I'm told is you have the sensation of almost like you're going to pee on yourself.
That's exactly the feeling. The sensation is I have to pee. And so women often hold that back because they don't realize that it's not going to be pee, which is why you really should pee before sex. So that if you empty your bladder first, one, it can just make things more comfortable because of where the bladder sits in your vagina. So you're putting less pressure on your bladder. And then your bladder fills up during sex anyway. So it really is helpful if you empty it beforehand. But if you feel the sensation that you have to pee, if you let it go, women might be surprised.
Okay, come on, pleasure pusher. Keep on talking. Keep on. Hey, I'm learning some things. Now I'm gonna be like, did you go to the bathroom?
That's right. They need to go before and after.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Ladies, did you all hear that? Listen. all I'm saying is I want everybody to just have that extra primo, over the top, earth shattering.
That's right.
Life-changing experience. So, yeah.
Yes. And there's also a myth about squirting that I just want to put out there as well, is that most people think that when a woman squirts, it's hard to say, squirts, she is also experiencing an orgasm. But the two do not necessarily have to go together.
Okay.
Some women can squirt just because of the pressure that's applied internally that releases the gland and you squirt, but it doesn't mean that they experience an orgasmic feeling. And then for some women, it can match up. So it just depends. That's something that you want to talk to your partner about.
Wow. So I will say this. This is me being transparent again. I remember that oral stimulation, oral sex, giving oral, being able to understand my partner, and listen to my partner, meaning that I was very attentive, what they liked, what they didn't like, soft touch versus rough touch. I don't think any man can say that they are very good at giving oral sex unless they've honestly been with a partner who has really walked them through. This is what I like. This is what I don't like. And then mastered being able to do that, knowing going in that, hey, I don't have to do much here. If I get here, I do this motion with my tongue, just come back and forth across here. I just got to be consistent. That's it. It's a wrap. I've won. I'm gonna walk out with the championship belt over my shoulder. It's like it's almost like giving me the answers to the test. Now, I say that because you've got to listen, guys. You've got to listen.
Right.
I don't care how many pornos you watch, what you see, whoever, do this, that, and the other. Every woman is different. My father, Charles Sr., he's in the house, 92 years old. He told me a long time ago, I will never forget it. He said, son, the body is like a road map. He said, the body is a road map. If you study the map, put your woman first and make sure that she's satisfied, you will have nothing to worry about. I said, well, Dad, what do you mean? He says, I'm telling you, if you put your woman first and make sure that she is satisfied, something is going to click in her and she's going to want to return the favor. She's not going to be selfish. I've always taken that approach in any relationship that I've been in. I've been very understanding, listening. Hey, you know what? Because we're grown, we're going to use a couple of grown terms here. So y'all bear with me real quick. There's a difference between making love and that other word.
Right.
Y'all know what I'm talking about. Effing.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So there's a big difference in that. Sometimes we need to do that other because both of us want that. Sometimes we don't want to make love.
Yeah.
Hey, we want to get it up. Look, I need you to right now. We can do all that other stuff later, but right now, this is what I need. But the fact that you can listen, Michi said, I like both. You know, Michi, I'm mad at you. Stop. I like both too. But the fact that you listen, the body being a roadmap, you can go there, you can have a blast, and it can be a wonderful experience in both. We talk about love, we talk about Black love, we talk about mature Black love. I retired from the military in 2015. Okay, my father is 92. I want y'all to remember that, how old my dad is now. I retired 5 years ago. Well, it was either late, but my mom passed in August. Matter of fact, she passed a couple of days this week. August 24th of 2015 is when my mom passed. Rest in power, Dr. Gloria B. Ramsey. But it was either late 2013 or early 2014. I was still on active duty. I called home, boom, boom, and my father answered the phone. No big deal. You call home, your dad answered the phone. I said, hey, Dad, what you doing? And without skipping a beat, without any hesitation, you know what he said to me, Kaycee?
What?
Chasing your mama. He said, chasing your mama.
Oh, okay.
and when he said that, I said, okay, you know what? I'm going to let you get back to that. I'll holler at you later.
Right. You go handle that.
I hung up the phone with him. And so it is, I just know that I've always just had that experience of just knowing that I've always just kind of taken my mantle is I want to take care of my lady. I want her to make sure that she's pleasure. Because guess what? As a man, I feel like I need to put credits in the freezer. If I'm in a relationship, I need to put some credits in the freezer, a whole bunch. Because it is more.
You're gonna mess up some other time.
Man, come on. It is more likely for me. I'm sorry. I'm human.
Sure. Yeah, we are.
And in being human, Tawana says, she says, the pleasure of oral sex can come from the giver when you can feed off the energy of your partner's body, and the pleasure of oral is endless. Yes.
I totally agree. When you have what they used to say in church, a grateful giver, right? So when you have someone who isn't doing it just because they want to pleasure you, but also because they get so much stimulation out of it. Yes. And they love doing it. There's nothing like having someone do it and they don't like it. You can feel that energy where it's like, all right, I know you want me to give you a blowjob, so I'll just give you. Nobody wants that.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, we'll just say that old phrase, ain't nothing wrong with eating. You just can't eat everybody's.
Well,
so,
gotta be selective.
I've learned that over the years that when I've been engaging and talking to some young men in the community, doing some mentor work, I've tried to get them to take on the female approach. And what I mean by that is believe that as a young man, you have a special gift too. Don't just give your gift away to just anybody either. Because guess what? It is a gift. Because now I will tell you, listen, I was young. I was stupid. I was a young soldier. I found myself ending up being, I don't want to say ending up, but a part of confusion of de facto relationships because I gave the A+++ treatment over the top.
Right.
And I'm going to be honest with you, Kaycee. I don't know. It was really hard for me. I don't know how not to be that way because that's just me. So it's really hard. Like you said, if I enjoy it, if it's pleasurable for me and I'm enjoying it and I'm being stimulated by giving, how do I not? Okay, well,
Right.
I really,
so then you find the person that you should give your A game to. That's really what it boils down to. There's no reason for you to hold back or not be who you truly are. You want to make sure that you match
Mm-hmm.
with the other person's energy.
Exactly, and that's the whole thing. So now it's not just matching their energy. I just get real. I don't want to say grimy, but I just be real with it.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, male and female, I might need you to match my level of nasty because I don't kiss and tell. So what we do in the bedroom is our business. But
Right.
doggone it, you know what? You might find yourself in some restraints today, and you might like it. You might want to get spanked. 50 Shades of Grey came out, and then everybody was like, I need to have me a dungeon. I was
Right.
like, you say that. Why don't you just explore, dip your
Sure.
toe in the water first to see if you really like being
Right.
bound, given instructions, because that's a
Yeah.
level of, now we're talking about a level of submission
Correct. Yeah.
that's different. And
Very true.
how do women find that to be so stimulating?
How do they find it to be stimulating, to be in the submissive role
Right.
in a kink situation like that? I think, again, it's like some people like chocolate ice cream, some people like strawberry. It's one of those things where it just depends on what stimulates you. Some women prefer to be dominant. They want to dominate their partner, and then others want to be submissive. It really just depends on your personality and what drives your arousal, and your ability to be vulnerable as well, because you have to trust the person that you are dominating or being submissive to.
Wow. So, we've been talking about some things here. We've got Kaycee Polite, aka the Pleasure
Hello.
Pusher, on, licensed sex therapist, who is just, oh wow, this is a great conversation. And so, I've got a lot of women chiming in, and so I'm not going to leave the men out. I'll be the guy that just tells the truth. So earlier, Keisha had mentioned something about the use of a vibrator and so forth. So let's just let the cat out the bag. Masturbation when it comes for a guy.
Yes.
I've known women to find it disrespectful if a male is in a relationship and is still masturbating.
Yeah.
I have found, I've heard women say, or I've known guys that who have masturbated with a combination of porn to where mentally it is taking them to a not good place, meaning that they had to have that to be stimulated and get there.
Yeah.
And I was like, bruh, you're way off in left field. You need to slow down on that. I said, it's entertainment. So there's a healthy dose and then there's an unhealthy dose of it. And the only suggestion, not being a therapist like yourself, that could suggest, I said, maybe you ask your mate to start watching it with you. Y'all watch together or something, or, so she doesn't feel so left out, so to speak, because it was a real bad situation. I felt really bad. I couldn't give him any advice, but then I also told him, I said, at the end of the day, though, it's also like a matter of self-control too. I said, nothing's still going to beat the real thing, right?
Sure.
But, But then I don't know the other half of the story, meaning I don't know what's going on in his bedroom. Is he being satisfied? Is she, I remember the first time I heard it, it was on Let's Do It Again with Bill Cosby and Sidney Poitier. They was in the restaurant. He said, I didn't know you were a prude or whatever. And I was like, so what did he say? One couple is he said, oh yeah, we make noise. It was just funny scene if you guys ain't watch it. But now we have this sexual revolution. Few comments. We'll start with Forrest. Forrest says, how can you get your mate to open up more?
Love that question. So it really starts with getting them to open up about topics that aren't about sex first.
Okay.
So oftentimes people want to go from not having really good communication in general to how do we have this really deep, great conversation about something that's very intimate and taboo. It doesn't work that way, right? So good communication has to happen across other areas of the relationship. So what I would suggest is really within the relationship, identify other areas in addition to sex that you want your partner to open up in that you can start with so that you all actually practice being vulnerable and have some success opening up. And it might be finances, it might be household management, there can be other things. Then as you work that in, that's when you introduce the idea about what are some fantasies. And you always want to ask your partner first.
Okay.
What are some fantasies that you might have? Or what are some things that you would like me to do that I've never done to you before sexually? Right? Like that's where you can start to pull out some of that information. And then you have a chance to answer and kind of share some of the things you've been thinking about.
Okay, that's good. Tawana says sex starts way before the bed. What's understood doesn't have to be explained. When you are with the right person, the body will allow you to open up to accept the ability to be dominant or submissive. Okay. She also wants to know, do men masturbate more than women?
Based on statistics, yes.
Okay.
They do.
All right. Communication, if not verbal, learn to read your partner based on their love language. Ooh, that's a good one.
Love that. Yes.
That's a good one. Let me see. And so thanks, guys, for leaving your comments and keep them coming.
Love it.
Keisha said, "What do most?" Okay, good question. She says, "What do most of your patients seek help for?"
Good question. So I get a lot of women that seek help with owning their own pleasure. So there's women who are in their 20s, 30s, 40s, and they never experienced an orgasm before. So they're in this place of wanting to explore that. So that's one of the things I probably see a lot of. The other thing I see a lot with couples is mismatched desire. So one partner has a high drive, the other one has a low drive, and they are trying to figure life out together. That is probably the second largest thing. Third, I would say couples who are managing maybe infidelity in the relationship and trying to reestablish their sexual connection because they made the choice to stay together. And that can be difficult.
Oh, wow. That can be difficult.
Good question.
And that's one of those things where I'm often, if I'm in a committed relationship with my partner and it's us, first of all, I don't know any other type of relationship to be in. It's a committed one. Let me say that. So I don't want anybody to misunderstand what I'm saying. And I believe, and I will say this all the time. I say, honey or sweetheart, baby, boo, whatever. If you want some, I'm never going to tell you no. I'm never going to have a headache. I'm never going to be tired. If you request it and you want that, and men, we know what that's like. If we're in bed, there's certain things, you talking about, okay, I'm getting ready to go to sleep, and all of a sudden you get that nudge and that dance that we play in the sheets or whatever. Like, oh yeah, you said you was real sleepy. Okay, come on, let's. I'm still never going to deny my partner. I don't believe in that. I don't care if I'm on my deathbed. If that's the way I got to go out, that's the way I got to go out. And it has to work both ways. I just believe that there are a lot of women who feel like it's not balanced, And so I try to make sure that I communicate, hey, we're a team. There's no I'm not way over here on one side, you way on here on the other side, and things are out of balance. No, we're in this together, and you're just as important, and your pleasure is just as important as mine. I'm responsible for you. You're responsible for me. We're responsible for each other. That's a beautiful thing when you find it. Now, there's a lot of things that are out there. A lot of things that people say that they want to experience, from swingers clubs to I guess you would say a kink club or whatever. They have them and things like that. All I can say is do your own research. There's nothing wrong with there being exploring things. And seeing, like you said, you don't know what you like and if you never try.
Very true.
If you never try. Michi was like, I need her to come to my retreat to talk about sexual freedom. Well, Michi, you know what?
Yay.
I will make
Hook up
sure
with me.
I will make sure that you guys are able to connect. Can I just come to the
That would be
retreat,
great.
Michi, just to be there by myself with my
Thank
resume?
you, Michi.
With my resume, I'm just I'm just saying. But okay, you know what? It's funny she mentioned that. Are there any slots available for Jamaica? Are they all sold out?
Yeah. So I think we're up to 90% sold out for the sexual health, mental wellness retreat in Jamaica next year, Memorial Day weekend, 2021. It's going to be phenomenal. It's going to be phenomenal. So definitely share with your community my link for Instagram, because that way they can take a look at it. And if they want to join, it's going to be a blast. I'll be there speaking on sex, pleasure, and mental wellness. So I'll be doing a workshop on that. And there's great speakers that are going to be there. And we'll be in Jamaica. I mean, how fun is that going to be?
That is going to be awesome, guys. And I'm telling you right now, first of all, Kaycee's her Facebook page and her business page is already linked on the Rolling with Ramsey page. I will make sure that you all have her Instagram info as well, because just to follow her is phenomenal. I'm telling you, it's a breath of fresh air every day. I'm always answering the questions like, okay, I can answer this in the dark. Don't know about it. Yep. I'm on that
You're
side.
very engaged. I appreciate it. Did you answer my would you rather questions that I posted last night on my story?
Well, you know what? Let me see. What was your?
Why don't you go on? Why don't you share that with our listeners?
You know what? We're gonna do that right now. We're gonna ask,
and then they can answer in the chat box.
Y'all can answer in the chat box. So here we go. So the question is for. Let me see. Okay, so it said, would you rather have sexual experiences 1 to 2 times per week or 5 to 7 times a week? And then would you rather have phone sex with or without video? Ooh, that's a good one.
I like that question. I want to tell me what people are saying. So hopefully everyone is answering those. There's 3 questions.
All right. So that was okay. So there was 3. Okay. And would you rather?
Yes, there's a third one.
Okay. So the other one is, would you rather get a rug burn from sex or break a piece of furniture?
Break furniture. Yes.
Okay. So Michi said 5 to 7 times. Rug burn from.
Yep, I'm with you, Michi.
Michi said video. Michi said video. Okay. Rug burn, Michi. You know what? I can answer the last one for Michi. She wants to break furniture because she just got some new knees and she don't want to hurt them things. So she gonna say break furniture. There it is. Okay. You ain't even got to answer that last one. So the question is, so I know she's laughing at me she's laughing at me. I already knew the answer to that, Michi. You didn't have to answer that. She said break furniture. I already knew that.
Break furniture.
Let's see.
And 62% of the people said break furniture. So they're with you on that one.
That's right. Oh, that is too funny. Yes. So if y'all don't know,
phone sex with or without video, 68% said with video.
Come on now. Come on now.
But I will say, I will have to share my answer to that one. I'm in the minority. So I said without video. And the reason why is because without video, it can provide your imagination to go to a place beyond what you may see in the video. So that's just my 2 cents. Yes. And there's also this focus on the voice. So when you can't see the other partner during phone sex, all you can rely on is your mind and listening to them, sound only. And that can be very stimulating and erotic.
Okay. That's
video is fine too. I just wanted to share my answer.
Okay. I hear you. Kaycee said, we some freaks.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
Oh man. Oh, that is funny.
Good thing.
Oh, you know what? It is always a good thing to be able to have a healthy conversation.
Yes.
Because that's what Rolling with Ramsey is all about.
Love it.
You know, I want to bring people together to have healthy conversations, talk about different things, explore different things.
Good.
That's the beauty behind it. I'm really happy that you're able to come on today, guys. If you got some
My
last
pleasure.
questions, we in the final countdown. 'Cause
Yay, let me know.
yeah,
You got 5 minutes.
got 5 minutes. We in the final countdown, y'all. Hey, look, you better fire away. But I will tell you, one of the things that is great is that we just have to be able to have that level of transparency to be able to open up about what we like and what we don't like.
Right.
Um,
Yeah.
I know that with, I think that honestly, with the COVID-19 and the situation that we're in, has really brought people together to be able
Yeah,
to explore more things.
for sure.
Uh,
Yeah.
be able to explore more things. Uh, it is just a beauty to be able to say, hey, you know what? Let's have some fun. There's nothing wrong with if you've watched a movie, you've seen a scene, and you said, "Oh, this is funny," this, that, and the other. But you know what? Well, I wonder if my mate might like this, or my mate might not like this. You know,
Exactly. You can recreate it in your own home.
I tell people all the time, if you want to, women, if you want to surprise your man, go to Walmart, buy some brown Deacon shorts in his size, buy a brown Deacon shirt in his size, put it in a package, wrap it up real nice and neat, and put a note with it and leave it for him. Hey, I got this for you. You'll understand what it is when you read the note. You're the UPS man. Leave, come back in 30 minutes and deliver me a package. Hey,
There you go. Role play.
role play and pretend. Hey, look, and pretend like he's really the UPS. Hey, have fun.
Right.
Life is too short.
Exactly.
You gotta have fun.
It is.
Oh, quick question.
Yes, and you have to have a lot of pleasure.
Here's a quick question.
Yes.
Does marijuana increase sexual pleasure or urge?
Yes, it can. Easy question. Yes, it can. Absolutely. It depends on the strain. I think the challenge for some people is it can make you too relaxed. So if that happens, then you're restricting blood flow, particularly for men, you can restrict blood flow to the penis. For women, though, sometimes it can actually increase your heart rate and it can drive more blood to the vulva. So it just depends. But yes, it definitely can serve that role.
Okay.
Good
Later,
question.
I see you're rolling
Thank
with
you.
Ramsey. Don't worry, you'll be able to go back and watch. She's like, oh, I hate I missed it. I missed over half the conversation. She says you'll be going back to listen. But
So good.
phenomenal. Thanks for coming on today.
Yeah, my pleasure.
I will
Yeah.
make sure that your contact is put out there. But matter of fact, while you're still on, where can they? How can they follow you on
Yeah.
Instagram? What's your Instagram tag?
Yes, I would love all of you to connect with me on Instagram at K_spot. So like G spot, but K spot. K_spot_therapy. So definitely go follow and send me a message and let me know that you heard our conversation tonight. So that would be great. Thank you.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much for coming on. You're awesome.
Yes, my pleasure.
We'll have to do a
Thank you.
follow-up like a couple of months from now to
Sure.
see what's going on.
Yeah, let's
and guys,
do it.
there's going to be a link on there about the retreat that she was talking about. She's saying that there's still some
Yep,
spots
it's in
available.
my bio.
Now I will tell you I went on and I think at one point in time I went on a link and it said that it may have been sold out. So check and make sure.
Okay.
I sent you a message
double
at
check.
one.
Last I heard it was.
Yeah.
Did you?
I sent you a
Oh.
message at one point in time. I was like, hey, are there any open spots? So, but definitely just check and make sure.
Yeah,
Uh,
definitely. Okay.
she said, okay, I don't know what this is. This is new for me. Does the O shot work? Keisha,
The O shot.
Is that right? The O shot?
I'm not sure what that is.
What, is that something different?
Is
Keisha?
it like Viagra for women?
Okay, we're waiting to see what she says. This is the last thing. We'll run
Okay.
over a little bit. I don't know. That might be the O shot. Maybe I'm thinking we might be on the right track. Is there such thing as Viagra for women?
Okay. There are different medications that are geared towards women, similar to Viagra. I'm not familiar with that one, but I could find out. So send me a message in Instagram, send me a private message, and then I'll be able to answer your question.
Okay, Keisha. She said send her a private message on Instagram. Thanks for coming on. I'm going to let you go because I know your time is valuable. I really appreciate it.
I appreciate you. Thank you.
Love you much. We'll talk soon.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. All right. So this has just been awesome today. Phenomenal show. I'm just so happy that I could have her on. I hope all you guys liked it. Thank you for being interactive today. This has just been great. Next week, we're going to have another phenomenal show next week. We're going to have a young man on, and he's really like my big brother, by the name of George Chatters, and he is the founder of Save Radio. So it's a new internet radio station that's coming out new on the scene. We're going to be talking about that next week. But this has just been a great show. Guys, I love all of y'all. Continue to share, like, follow, subscribe. I need your help to continue to grow. And guess what? We're now officially on iHeartRadio. So you can get the podcast on iHeartRadio as well. Rolling with Ramsey is there. Shout out to Tascam, Tiffin Motorhomes. Also, you name it. It has been phenomenal. All the music for today's show is done by my brother, my friend, the artist known as QB Smith, who has an album out right now entitled Hymns. You can find it on all musical platforms. Gotta love it. And a mad shout out to my new video editor in the Philippines, Joel. You are the man. And guys, another week is gone by. I'm gonna see all of you all next week. And you have officially been rolling with Ramsey. Peace. See you guys soon.